Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's me, Brendan Green, owner of Gold Element Autoworks. So, check it out. I have a little quick story I want to tell you guys. In this 2005 Mercedes CL600, I took it through a car wash. And I know you guys might say, why would you take a Mercedes through an automatic car wash? It's touchless. Well, listen, that's why. Okay, also because I have a lot of cars, and so I didn't really have time to wash it the way that I wanted to, so I said bump it. It was real dirty, and I just went through an automatic car wash. Okay, the problem occurred after I came out the automatic car wash. Now, I always get out and check to make sure that like the little bumper, little toe covers, little tow hitch covers, things like that didn't pop off, because I've had a situation before where a tow hitch cover, a little square in the bumper, popped off and actually was inside the car wash. So I had to go back in there and find it. I've also had times, even with this car, with the front one, the front bumper, that little square has popped loose and was hanging. So, gotta pay attention to that. All right, so the other thing, once I pulled out of the car wash, this happened like 2 days ago in the CL600. I pull out the car wash, and all of a sudden, I hear a whining noise from what sounded like the transmission, like a higher pitched noise. I never heard that before. So I'm freaking out, like, what the heck? So then when I pulled out onto the main street, I'm almost cutting somebody off, but you know that when you're driving a powerful, fast Mercedes that you can take off fast. So you're like, bump it, I got space, I got time. And I pull out real fast, and I don't go real fast. It like struggles. Matter of fact, the car jerks, like it's shuddering, trying to go forward. I said, oh my God. So it's slow to shift. It did shift into the next gear, but it was slow to shift. It shuddered like a stutter, right? So then I got onto the highway, and I'm still hearing this high-pitched whining noise as I'm accelerating. I'm like, golly, what just happened? My first inclination or thought is like maybe water got to where it shouldn't have got. So I'm trying to get to Home Depot. I'm on the highway. I know you're like, why would you drive a Mercedes to Home Depot? Whatever, because it's a car. I need something from Home Depot. So I get to the exit. It's driving safety on the highway. I get to the exit ramp, and I'm at a stoplight. By the time the light turns green, the car doesn't shift. It's stuck. It won't shift. Matter of fact, in drive, it just starts to go backwards. It won't go into gear. I'm like, oh my God. So I hit the hazard lights right there, and I'm sitting there looking stupid. Oh, I was stressed. So it won't even go into gear. Matter of fact, in drive, it started to roll backwards. So I'm pushing it in park, throwing it back in gear. It won't do anything. So naturally, with these Mercedes, because the transmission is electronically controlled, I went on ahead and I turned the car off, turned it back on. It went into gear. Okay. So obviously, the car is maybe in limp mode, it's missing a signal, there's something going on, and it's related to that car wash. So either something mechanical happened, like something up underneath got caught, snagged, pulled down, maybe a wire hanging or something like that. Something mechanical, electronic signal compromised through mechanical manipulation of some sort. Either that or water. So I get it to Home Depot barely, because by the time because I had a couple more traffic lights. By the time I finally got into the Home Depot parking lot, it was whining louder, so loud, it was noticeable that some people that were walking from the store were just staring at it like, ugh, like what's wrong with his car? I hate having a Mercedes that's having issues. Golly, it's so embarrassing. Because it's a Mercedes. I don't have a Mercedes for the image, but I know what comes along with Mercedes ownership. I know the perception, the public perception of somebody driving a Mercedes. So the worst thing is to drive a Mercedes and have something publicly going wrong with it. So I pull in the Home Depot, it's whining, sounding like Keith Sweat. You people, R&B artists, people who listen to R&B artists back in the day know what I'm talking about. He was known for being a whiner. Always banging and crap. Anyway, so that's my car sounding like Keith Sweat. So yeah, I get that thing parked, man, and I get out, I pop the hood, I look for intrusion of water. So the common areas, of course, is the front driver's side, passenger side, engine compartment, near the firewall, the fuse boxes, open them up. I shine my light down there just where it's darker. You need some extra light, and I'm looking for some type of water. I'm not seeing it. You would have to actually like lift up the TCU or whatever, or the ECUs and or whatever the modules are called, and look to see if water is getting in there, because you do have this what do they call this thing? I can't remember, but where water goes in the hood and it runs down, and there is a tube that can get dirty, clogged up with debris, dirt, whatever, and it will hold water instead of allowing water to run to the ground. What is that called? Anyway, so when water gets in there and it sits, it can cause some issues. Water can evaporate and build up into the module area, the fuse boxes, and that can cause some corrosion on the fuse, on the fuses, the relays, or more importantly, the modules. So you got to be careful of that. So keep that drain tube clean, okay? Just keep that in mind. Now, it wouldn't be the evaporation aspect because it just happened immediately. As soon as I came through the car wash, it happened. So it's not that. Water got to where it shouldn't have got to. Now, there is like an issue with these 5-speed transmissions where transmission fluid is called wicking, I guess, where it can go up to a connection. It can feed into and build up and sit. I think the TCU, I keep wanting to say TCU, but there's a transmission control module or unit or something that oil, actually transmission fluid, can get into. And I had that on my CL55 because when I did a flash of the transmission, when I did the stage 2 tune and some other stuff that I did to it, he actually sent me some pictures and showed that there was oil built up inside of that, and it was coming from a connector. Transmission fluid was seeping out of that, past the seal, up the connector into the TCU, I think is what it is. And so that can also happen with water. If oil can do it, water can do it. Water will find a way into some things, I'm telling you. Another place that could be susceptible is if that drain tube is plugged up. It could be seeping inside the footwell, passenger side, and you have some connections down there, some very important connectors down there as well. So you have to be careful of water getting inside your vehicle where it shouldn't be. So that was the issue. I was inside Home Depot for an hour. I guess you guys want to know the conclusion of the matter, because this is the CL600 that I'm driving. Well, the conclusion of the matter is I was inside Home Depot for an hour, and when I came back out and started up, it was just fine. So that's crazy. You know, water got to where it shouldn't have got to, and it caused transmission issues. So it hasn't occurred since. That was just 2 days ago. I've been driving it just to make sure it's not happening again. It was thankfully a temporary situation, but it does show the susceptibility of this car going through a car wash. So I'm not going to do that. My wide body CL55, I don't take through the car wash, obviously. I'm not going to do that. That's a hand job. This car right here will now be a hand job, a washing by hand job. The G-Wagon, I wash that by hand. My wife's S550, she drives that through the car wash because it's easy and there hasn't been any issues caused. My SL55, the 55, I drive that through the car wash, no problem. So, I don't know, man. It's just, and then the GLs, of course, through the car wash. I'm not. So, you know, it's just, man, you just gotta be careful. That's all I'm trying to say. That happened with me. It's not gonna happen with everybody, but it did happen with me. So I am going to be that much more careful. These older Mercedes from the 2000s, early 2000s, you just have to be careful, man. Thankfully, I did do some forum research while I was in Home Depot, and I did see some other people have issues similar. And I did see somebody who said once he left his car in the garage overnight, he came back out, the problem was gone. But he barely got it home, just like I barely got it at the Home Depot. So it is an issue. I'm not gonna say it's a common issue, but it can be an issue. It can happen. So it's just something to keep in mind, guys. So that's my little experience the other day. This video is not really a tutorial. I know you guys are looking for how-to videos, and I said I'm putting those out there, but right now I'm just talking because everybody needs to express themselves from time to time. And so this is me telling you, be careful with these automatic car washes. They can cause some issues. All right, so you guys take care, Be careful out there. Enjoy your Mercedes Benzes. You know what I do. You know what I love. You know I'm here for you guys. Reach out to me if you ever need me. Brandon Green, owner of Autoworks. I'm out.